finished the book?
Who finished?
Who finished the book?
Like this. Part of the thing I like about the book, I know that like other people, that's what they hate about the book the most, but maybe because when I dive into something, I kind of like to like overly obsess about a topic until I've like killed it. And that's what the book does with every single story. They kill it until it's dead. She beats it over the head and I'm like, yes, yeah, I agree totally. And then we get to the next story and I'm finally satisfied.
What it did for me was it forced me out of thinking mind. Like by going on and on and on and on, it made me, I had to get into intuitive mind.
I didn't finish it. I got to 150 barely by pure force.
I thought the myths were beautiful, but last night I actually went through and read just the rest of the stories and the myths because I liked them. I thought they were beautiful. And her poetry, some of her poetry in there is beautiful. She has some really nice poetry. And I want to say one other thing. I saw it a lot on the internet, but the general wolf rules for life. And I kind of like them.
Oh, they're so good.
So general wolf rules for life.
Oh yeah.
Eat. So it says eat, rest, rove in between, render loyalty, love the children, cavil in moonlight, tune your ears, attend to the bones, make love, and howl often.
Often. Yeah, it's so
And I like
good.
howl. So I really like that of the book, even though it was
Me too.
Kim, what do you think? You haven't said anything.
No, I feel like I'm not qualified to speak about it because that's how little I read.
How much did you read, Kim?
I was about to begin Ugly Duckling.
It's the best one.
I
Jim.
know,
It's
and
the
you told
best
me.
one.
And,
Of course you think it's the best one.
Oh, it is. I was like, oh, no.
If anyone's seen adolescent pictures of Kara, you'll know why.
The glasses were the best.
And my
The
bangs
glasses were the
started back here.
Yeah, thanks. I was like, we were like, kind of like poets or something.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
You're
like a lot of
right.
corduroy, a lot of turtlenecks.
So many
Like Simon
turtlenecks.
Garfunkel.
That is an interesting style goal.
Oh, dude.
They owned it.
Sure we did.
Maybe that's why Kara loves being naked so much.
Yeah, because clothes offend her. Stay off of these.
She's sweating in corduroy and turtleneck.
Guys, like it's not
like
an
me.
exaggeration. It was all turtlenecks. It was turtleneck after turtleneck.
Hey, I'm wearing a turtleneck. I like my turtleneck.
No, it looks good
Turtleneck.
on
I
you.
love a turtleneck.
Yeah, but when it's your only option,
Do you only wear turtlenecks, Joyce?
No, of course not.
Like, gee, what turtleneck will I wear today?
Book interrupted.
Introducing my favorite interruption.
Hi guys, everything sounds good. What?
Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Brandon, Leah's husband. Yeah,
He's not my husband. My husband's in the other room. This is my boyfriend.
and I'm interrupting.
It's an interruption. Okay, bye.
Book interrupted.
So I'd like you to talk a bit about why this book, not just that it overanalyzed, because that's kind of the structure of it, but what about it emotionally changed your life so much?
It's like that Cinderella story.
meets Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
That one?
And
Yeah,
that's- Yeah. I gotta look at, this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like the step family is like your ego, your pain body, and what was like groundbreaking for me is victim. So for me, whenever I get upset about something, I either go, and I used to always go to self-loathing, which is your pain body. It's an Eckhart Tolle reference where you're like negative self-talk, like you're so stupid. Why did you do it that way? Like I used to do that all the time to myself until I read that book. So I actually named my pain body back then, just so I could like, as if it was someone else being mean to me, because that's what I felt like. I would never let anyone talk to someone I loved in that way. Why am I talking to myself that way? So I called her Sally. Anyway, so
Love that.
yeah. Okay, Sally, you're not stupid. You just tripped. you're a human being.
I love this so much.
No, you guys need to name the characters. It's so
so-
fun and helpful.
Was I go to victim, like all of a sudden, poor me, like no one appreciates me and no one really loves me that much. And if I wasn't here, like I go into so self-pity.
I guess you could relate, but like for me, it was how the mother gave her that doll, and it's like the role of the mother parent, right? The female figure in making sure like that the only like the one thing like or the most important thing that they pass on is that willingness to trust yourself, right? To listen to your intuition. And like that lesson was translated through the vehicle of the doll.
She's with Baba Yaga. It's about doing the sorting and the sifting. What has priority? What has value? What can fall away? Where do things belong?
That resonates with me because I often can cognitively grasp a concept. Yeah. And like, so through my teens and early 20s, I cognitively understood things, but only from the perspective of my 40s. Looking back, do I see the messy mistakes as the doing that made me actually, at my fibers, understand what I always understood.
Didn't have the experiential learning part, which is
correct.
Inevitably messy.
It's just like when you like do dating and you, right? No one knows like that dating is essentially an exercise in understanding what you don't want. And then you do it enough and it fails all the time. And that's the way it's supposed to be, because then you figure out, oh, okay, all of those things I don't want. Now I know what I do want.
All of that, all of it.
All 40 of those guys.
That was a story for me. Like, so that was that changed my life.
It was, all of it, all the stories. So I read the story of the skeleton woman, and when that woman climbs up like onto the ship deck and the man like makes time for her and the tear, and I was utterly convinced. I was like, not even just my husband, but no one will ever want to make time to understand me. And so that one, it was like a I was like, I can't read the story. I can't finish the book. I
remember you called to me. You called me. You're like, anyone ever want to unravel me? I was like, what?
Oh no, like no one. When I called, like it was, one of those cries when you can't even get like you're just like it was one of those. Like it was hardcore. Just because my husband and I absolutely do love each other, but like we're so polar opposites. He's all instinct. I'm all intuition. And he's so practical. I was convinced. I was like, why would he take the time to want to get to know me? I was like, it just doesn't fall into his level of like.
I would argue he probably thinks he knows you. He probably thinks that's done on his to-do list.
The thing is, he does know me. But again, it made me, the story was so impactful because it made me come face to face with some really not wonderful limiting beliefs.
Enneagram 4 thing to do is like to idealize your partner.
Yup.
And hang all your hats on that hat rack.
Oh yeah, all of it. Yeah, because Leah
and then
was Enneagram 4 too. Yeah,
and that you think you're so fucking special.
Yeah,
that someone would need to take 10, 15 years to unravel you.
Oh, totally.
Like nobody's got that kind of time.
No one.
Not even you. Like you can't even unravel you.
You guys love the archetypes thing because it informs you about like your emotional intelligence and like looking at your reactions and figuring out what you need. That's why I like nonviolent communication. Because it just basically says any feeling you have is either because you have a need that's being met or a need that's not being met. And then you go, oh, why do I feel angry? Something's not being met. And you can look at a list of needs and be like, oh.
And that's like speaking to me. I'm like, that's what I want. I don't have time for bullshit.
Just give me the facts and tell me how to do it. I need emotional intelligence intelligence now when I'm feeling angry or sad or something. Like my kids are triggering me and I need to be able to deal with it today.
I need to protect them.
Right. And me and Kara want to slowly unravel our skeleton.
I know.
Ooh, I got my shoulder at this time. Let's look at that. Let's look at that for 10 years.
Yeah, totally. And from 150 different angles.
Thank you for visiting Book Interrupted's YouTube channel. Please click the button below to subscribe. This way you don't miss any episodes. Also, if you like this particular episode, give us a thumbs up to say that you liked it. Give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Or share it with your friends and family.
On Book Interrupted.